And before you get ready to watch this video, I'd just like to share some quick information. We are sponsored by MetaMats, and they provide very, very high quality mats that are completely customizable up to your personal preference. And we would like to say thank you so much for watching this video. We do some extremely innovative stuff at this channel, and I would definitely like for you to check out our future content. We just do some crazy stuff up here. I appreciate you guys so much for showing love to our team, and enjoy this video.
Yo, what is up, guys? This is Ed from Team King of Games, guys, and I am back just with a little quick video, guys. So I mentioned in one of my profiles from today that I wanted to do a top 5 favorite decks, and here they are. So we have my favorite deck to my least favorite deck. I know some of you guys just want to go ahead and see what they are, and you guys don't want the suspense, and you guys don't want to wait. So I went down and I laid it out to you guys. You know what it is. I just want to go ahead and talk a little bit about my experience with Yu-Gi-Oh and why these are my favorite decks and why these are my favorite monsters from each deck. Actually, not my favorite monsters. Not all of them are my favorite monsters. No, I do stand corrected, because if I was to do my favorite monsters, the one thing that I would change here would be that. So now these are my favorite monsters from every deck that are my favorite decks. There's reasons why I love the monsters that I love. There's reasons why I love the decks that I love. So let's go ahead and just start off. I think one of my first decks that I've ever played was a Dragons deck, and it was not a Chaos Max deck. It wasn't. It was just a regular Dragon deck. So when I first started getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! About 2 years ago, I had my friend, we call him Mandragon. So I had my friend Mandragon and my friend Mario. These two guys are like best friends. So these guys were the ones that got me into Yu-Gi-Oh! And so one day we were just chilling at school, and I saw my friend Lewis. Lewis was the reason why I wanted to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! But Mandragon and Mario were the ones that helped me get into Yu-Gi-Oh! So what it was is it's just Lewis was just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot. And I didn't know what the hell it was. I was like, man, what is that? And they're like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, oh, okay, whatever, right? But at school we have a little pool table. So I was always playing pool. We had an air hockey table, so I was always playing air hockey as well. So it was just something that for me, it was just like, okay, you know what? I'm fucking tired of you guys just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to get into it too. Like, I want to play with you guys. So we set up a day where we were chilling at school. We had no classes, and we just decided to go out. And we're like, hey, shit, let's go on Mandragon's car. I didn't have a car at this point, so we went with Mandragon. Mandragon was the one that helped me, drove me, and he said, you really want to get into Yu-Gi-Oh? I said, yeah. He's like, all right, shit, you got money? I was like, yeah. He's like, Yu-Gi-Oh's expensive. And I was like, whatever, right? But shit, Yu-Gi-Oh is expensive. So I went with Mandragon, and I went with Mario. Who else was in the car? Lewis was with us. I honestly think that was it. It was just us four. Malik was in the car with us. But man, Malik was whatever at that point. He was just going, just to get out of the school. He already played Yu-Gi-Oh! So I got in the car with them. We went to a Target first. We went to a local store, just a Target. We were trying to get the pack. I forgot the name of the pack, but it was the one where the Felgrants came out in. So it was where the one with the Return of the Dragon Lords came out in, and whatever, right? So I bought one of those structure decks. I was like, whatever. We didn't find them there, to be honest, so I didn't buy it there. So we kept on driving. So after Target, we drove to Strike Zone, this local store over there by my school. So we drove out to Strike, and when I got to Strike, they had a lot of the newer things. They had the Legendary Decks 2, which is one of the boxes that I got. They also had the Felgrants, which is one of the stuff that I got as well. So when I pulled up, I just got one of the Legendary boxes, and they were all like, dude, it just came out, bro. Buy it, dog. It's gonna be great. And I was like, sure, whatever, right? So I bought the Legendary Deck 2. And they tried helping me out. There isn't really much with that one box to do with it, So we built a very basic deck. And while I was there, I was like, hey, what about that Fairground deck? You guys told me to get it. And homeboy was all like, well, I bought 3 of the structured deck, but, you know, honestly, I just recommend you to get 1. Worst decision ever, dog. Just getting 1 of any structured deck is ridiculously dumb. So this guy told me just to get 1, so I got 1. I was like, whatever, yeah. So I got 1. Man, dude, it didn't have anything that I needed besides the Return of the Dragon Lord. So he had already been talking to me about it in the car. He's like, man, you're gonna need that card, bro. You're gonna play it. And I was like, yeah, sure, yeah. So I made me a dragon deck, right? And going on within that week, I really realized that the dragon deck was just not my thing. So I undid it, and then I went for a spellcaster deck. So I had a very basic kind of beginning to Yu-Gi-Oh. It wasn't anything like, oh, I had a trick star deck. No. Even back in the day, it was just a spellcaster deck, a dragon deck. You know, it wasn't something too big. It wasn't something too like, you know, an archetype. So I was just like, whatever, right? When I finally came across Dark Magician, that's when my friend was like, you know, there's a Dark Magician deck you can make, but it just costs a lot of money. And I was like, what? I was like, whatever, man. It took me about 2 months to make that Dark Magician deck after I had already started, you know, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe even 3 months. Man, I dropped so much money on that deck. It was whenever Circle was still $30, Navigation was like $27, and I was like, whatever, right? I built a deck. I don't care. So that's where I came across my first deck. Dark Magician deck, man, dude. Man, there was a guy there at school. His name was David. David was just very important in my life because he showed me a lot more of what I can do. I already knew so much of what I can do, and I showed him so many things. But it was very important because we had a lot of like tag team matchups where it was Dark Magician and Dark Magician, so both of us with a Dark Magician deck each, versus like whatever the hell wanted to play against us. So I thought it was great for me, you know, to get that practice in, you know, because I could just sit there, look at his hand, and I can play out what he would do, and he'll play it out. And the same thing with him. He'll see what I have in my hand, and he already knew what I wanted to do, and I already knew what he wanted to do. This was when Mahad used to be in our deck. I honestly thought Mahad was a very good card back in the day, and it was, so don't get me wrong. It was great. It's just now it's not very important in our decks. But I've just had Dark Magicians for like, what, almost 2 years now. And it's been amazing, man. Honestly, it's been a ride with Dark Magician. After that, after Dark Magicians, I finally wanted to build another dragon deck. So I was like, you know what? I want to build a dragon deck. So I want to go back into dragons. So I built a regular, you know, Blue Eyes deck. I bought everything that I needed for it. It wasn't too expensive. You know, and then one day I had a friend, his name is Kirby. Kirby brought around some of his friends, and that guy that I played, I was like, what deck do you play? He told me I play a Cancer deck. I looked at him and I was like, what? When he pulled this out on a game, oh, hell no. I didn't know how to get over it. I was playing a Dark Magician deck. Can't be targeted, can't be destroyed. I lost. I lost. After that day, that guy really... Honestly, that guy beat me in that game. It wasn't like a nasty destroy, but it was like it was a game where he destroyed me, and it really made me reflect on what type of dragon deck I was running. And ever since that day, I have been making all of my dragon decks, all of my Blue Eyes decks. I'm sorry, because I don't have another Blue Eyes deck. So my Blue Eyes deck became a Chaos Max specific build. So it was very important. I have the link, I have the profile up here on the channel, guys. So if you guys want to go see it, go check it out. It's the Blue Eyes Chaos Max build that I built, not the one that 3 Stacks has, because his deck's a little different. But I think I kept my my Blue Eyes deck for like about 1.5 years, maybe even, yeah, about 1.5 years, let's say. I kept it for about 1.5 years, and then I had to get rid of it. Reasons why is, you know, I even came around, 3 Stacks said, hey, Ed, I'll give you another deck for your Blue Eyes deck. And I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I don't want to get rid of it, man. But you know what? I had to hook the homie up. So I said, 3 Stacks, yeah, brother, I got you, man. I'll give you my Blue Eyes deck. It wasn't something that I really wanted to do, but it benefited me in the long run. I felt like at that moment, it was just very instrumental for me to keep my Blue Eyes deck. But I know that if I want to go back and ever build another Blue Eyes deck, I'll make it exactly the same the way that I had it. Maybe make a change or two to it. But I just love my Blue Eyes deck to death. I loved it. It was great. It was an amazing build. After the Blue Eyes deck, I also have the deck that I traded for with him was the Trick Stars. Wow, this is when Reincarnation was at 30. Freaking Candida was like at 15, 16. So it was a great time for me to get that Trick Star deck. There was no other way before that I could have gone a Trick Star deck before. So I got a Trick Star deck. But, you know, I had just joined his team about a month already. I had already been in there with him for about a month. I've had this deck for about 2 months now, maybe even 3 months. So I think I've been in total with the team for like maybe 3 to 4 months now. It's been a great ride. Honestly, I love the team. The guys are freaking amazing. Cool Cuz and 3 Stacks and I, we hang out as much as we can, especially on Mondays. We go to our local card shop at DNA. So if you guys ever want to catch us there. But when I first started off, before even I got the Trick Stars, when I first started off, I had just bought me a Lightsworn deck. I pulled up to it, and I honestly, looking back into it, 3 Stacks was telling me, man, that deck build that you had was shit. And I was like, man, dude, honestly, I understand, man. Honestly, I'm looking back into it 3 months ago. I've grown so much as a duelist with, you know, with Ivan in the team, with 3 Stacks in the team, that it's just, you know, it's really helped me see the game differently. So I feel that sometimes you got to play a little differently, or you got to be a little more competitive sometimes. But the reason why I liked Lightsworn so much is just, I like, you know, for me, I like big, strong decks. I love the Chaos Max does piercing. I love the Blue Eyes. If I have Eternal Soul, it can't be targeted. Or if I have Navigation, I can special 2 of them, basically. But honestly, playing Lightsworns was just a very different experience. So playing Lightsworn is just awesome for me. So after I finally learned how to play the Lightsworns deck, I thought it was very important for me to actually play different styles of decks. You know, as in the Blue Eyes deck being a piercing and overall attack damage game. And then having the Dark Magician game, as in where you just special summon as many Dark Magicians, or, you know, the Shadow Dark Magician as much as you can. After that, having the Trick Stars, where there's basically you just sit on it and you burn your opponent. Having the Lightsworns, where it's nothing but mill. It's really nothing but mill. Everything that you do will mill. So I have decks that I know that are different and that I enjoy. And after that, the Magical Musketeers really came in for me, and they just changed the whole battlefield. Honestly, they changed everything. It is so important to play with certain, you know, columns and everything that you're going to do. It's very important that you do all of that, and it's very important that you pay attention to it. And there's a reason why I like all of these guys. Favorite Dark Magician, especially because of the artwork. Favorite Trickstar monster, that is her. Favorite Magical Musketeer, that is him. And then favorite Lightsworn, the Homie Wolf, and then Chaos Max. These are the decks in my favorite order, as in the deck style, but in actual monsters, you know, these are my favorite monsters, but in actual monster order, my favorite monsters. These are my favorite monsters. This is not the deck, this is the monster. So the original one was the monster, the original one was the deck. These are the order of my favorite monsters. So these were already my favorite monsters from each deck, and now these are my favorite monsters out of all of these. So the guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is just a little bit of a video for me to rant on what I like and what I don't like. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was Ed from Team Kina Games, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great night, guys.